Welcome to 5 Minutes of Political Common Sense for America. I'm Brian Boeheim, the political engineer. And I want to talk today about the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the Second Amendment. Now, so we're all on the same page. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. It reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Now, obviously, the Second Amendment was written with the idea that throughout history there had been tyrannical governments that had disarmed their population and in turn controlled them. This was a clear communication to the people and to the government itself that people should be able to maintain weapons in their home. First and foremost, to keep the government from taking control of their lives. The people were to run this government. The secondary function, obviously, as time went on, is protection. In the old days, colonial times, in the Wild West, it was protection against dangers, whether it be animals or intruders. It was meant to allow you to protect your family, and that's really what it's all about. Now, the Supreme Court upheld the Second Amendment in a 5-4 ruling that struck down the Chicago law banning firearms. This was a good day for those of us who feel the Constitution is a good thing and not just an old, out-of-date document. It's also a very good day for those of us who believe we are responsible for our own well-being and don't want to rely on others to be our saviors. See, I'm in the camp that believes that we have to take a certain level of responsibility for our own safety. Relying on everyone else, the police, the government, politicians, is just crazy. Why would you rely on those people to keep you safe? Now, I'm not saying that we don't hire them, if you will, in a manner of speaking, to provide a certain amount of safety, a certain amount of security. But at the end of the day, you're the only one responsible for your own safety and the safety of your family. Now, all that said, there is some bad news. The vote was 5-4. How can the vote be 5-4 on what is clearly written in the Bill of Rights? This demonstrates a fine line we walk when appointing justices to the Supreme Court. That 4 justices don't believe in the Second Amendment makes me wonder whether they are objectively deciding on cases based on law and evidence, or if they're just applying their personal opinion. I'll tell you what, if you look back at all of the cases the Supreme Court has ruled on, you will see, I was going to say certain justices, but I'll suggest most of the justices don't do it purely by law, purely by evidence. They're actually applying their opinion. And I think we've got to really take a look at that and wrap our brain around the fact that our Supreme Court should not be a group of people giving their opinion on how the world should be. Their job is not to make law. Their job is to take evidence and law, balance that out, and make a decision that follows the laws that Congress makes, because we elect Congress. Supreme Court justices are appointed. Now, I want to mention, though, there is even worse news. Mayor Daley of Chicago has promised that he will find a way to work around this ruling. How do you work around the ruling? He just wants his way. This is obviously a disrespect for the Constitution of the Supreme Court and demonstrates that he does not care about the will of the people. And this is one of the problems with that side of the team right now. There are certain people out there that do not care about the Constitution, do not care about the letter of the law, do not care about the Supreme Court. But what they care about is that they think they know best, and they are going to impose that on the rest of us. That's called fascism. You've been listening to 5 Minutes of Political Common Sense for America. I'm Brian Boeheim, the political engineer. And if you like what you heard here, go out and get a copy of my book, Political Common Sense for America. You can find it at Amazon.com. Until next time, be safe out there.